Hey everyone, Joe and Mike back here to bring you updates on all four NBA series on their most recent game because we haven't done the one from 2 nights ago. So yeah, we'll be talking about every team that's still alive today. Starting with a couple nights ago, the Knicks and the Pacers. Um, Let me start it by saying Josh Hart before this game had played every minute of the series, played 43 this game. If that teaches you a lesson, I don't know what does. Um, the I forget. I think the Knicks got off to that early lead, and then I remember Halliburton and DiVincenzo. They were the big players for their respective teams in the first half. They were both were excellent from three. Let's talk about Alec Burks. Um, Thibodeau must have been blown away that someone coming off a bench could perform that well, huh? He got 10 points really quick, and ends the half with 13 coming off the bench. So big bench play from Alec Burks. Um, Halliburton was playing a very different style of basketball than we've seen from him lately. He only had one assist in the first half, but he was I don't even have to check. I guarantee you he was their lead scorer. Um, Brunson and DiVincenzo then end up fueling a 10-0 run at the beginning of the third. They lead by 7. Halliburton leads them back, and then Siakam helps out. Siakam had a decent night as well. The lead went back and forth. Then Turner blocked Hart on a breakaway that would have given them the lead. They go back and score it, so the Pacers take the lead again. Um, and then with like 30 seconds, the game is end up tied up again. Halliburton passed it instead of Halliburton. Let me see. He ended with 35, so he's got 35 points. He has a three, and he passes it for Nemhard. I think that was a boneheaded play. It paid
I thought it
off
was the
though.
right
Nemhard,
play.
you think it was the right play?
I think it was, but I understand why, you'd say otherwise. But
I mean, I'm coming off the NHL, man, where like these playoffs have been notorious. Like they have an open net and they decide to pass it, and it's like, dude, what do you? So I think that's just on my mind, I suppose. But it pays off. Nemhard gets the three, and then from there it's just foul city as we're used to. At the end of the game, DiVincenzo 35, dude, he is aging very well since I told you this guy is freaking nuts. Brunson 26, Hart 18 and 10. Halliburton on the other side of the ball, 35. Turner was 10 and 21. Siakam had a quiet 26, I feel like, but he definitely helped fuel some of their runs with a couple clutch points. The Knicks were 51% from three. God knows that was pretty much entirely Dante DiVincenzo. Um, I think what I'm sitting on here is I don't know we're ever going to see, and you hate to say it about a superstar like Halliburton, but I don't think we're going to see that game from him again. A game where he plays just as good in another category of basketball, like, being a playmaker and all that. Sure, we could see another great game from Halliburton. I don't think he's shooting like that again. So that just doubles back on the fact that the Knicks are going to stay scary. I mean, everyone's looking at Brunson hitting 50, dude. Meanwhile, DiVincenzo night in, night out has not like had a quiet ever. He's never quiet. Like Brunson will like score like 2 points in the first half and then go off in the second half. DiVincenzo is just hitting everything that he bats an eye at, and it's no one's discussing it, at least from what I've seen. Obviously, you're more on the scene than I am, but DiVincenzo is having himself a quietly insane postseason run. I would love to see his points per game right now. It's probably like over 25 easily.
um, so watching the fourth quarter the other night is the reason why I have not been scared of the Knicks and will continue to not be, and why I think they're going to have a lot of trouble getting out of this series is because they are ran down and tired. I think they scored 16 points in the fourth quarter. They're
I'll double check on that,
exhausted.
but yeah.
They are exhausted. And this just, I mean, I'm not even saying anything new. This is a Tom Thibodeau team. This is what happens. These guys are playing 40 plus minutes, most of them every night. And it's like they're running down. People are injured, people are hurt. That's why I said when it went up 2-0 that I expected this to be tied once they come back to MSG. I really do believe that. I think that the Pacers will win today. I think the only saving grace I think New York has right now for them is home court advantage at MSG. But I don't know. I mean, yeah, there's they when they're healthy and everything, they're very scary, But I mean, I don't know. Like DiVincenzo, as great as he's doing, I don't expect another 35-point game from him.
I most certainly do. My
You
thing is,
do?
dude, that guy has been going off every single night. Sure, 35 is I don't know if that's a high for him or anything, but dude, this guy is hitting literally everything.
I'll go on
I
record
wouldn't be
right now.
surprised.
I'll go on record right now and say he will not have another 35-point game this season.
What's the highest he's gonna have from here on out, would you say?
Oh, I don't know, but my point is, like, I don't think someone's gonna Brunson. I don't want to say he had a bad game, but I think I think if he, I don't think there's going to be a opportunity again where somebody's going to step up when he's not playing at his full strength ability. If that makes sense. Um,
I think the Knicks have a deep starting five though.
they
I think
do, they do.
Hartenstein is able to. Do you know about OG Anunoby? Is he playing today?
I don't know.
Hmm.
I don't know, but
Yeah, but no, this whole series has made me realize that like, because if you recall, like the last like year or so, ever since like the NFL ever since the NFL season like was a little bit underway and all these star players were getting injured. Like it has been like how often am I annoying you with like, oh, injuries, injuries? It's made me like realize that if this Thibodeau might be my least, because I don't pay attention to coaching. In NHL and NFL and anywhere, I really don't pay attention. Thibodeau might be the worst. Because like it's not even like to win, right? It's not even like, oh, like it doesn't work to win. It's just you know that you're putting your players at risk and you just don't care. You're an asshole. Like,
oh,
am I right or am I wrong? Like
you're
the
wrong.
guy
You're
plays
wrong. You're
the
wrong.
guy
But
plays winning basketball. The guy he's a great coach in terms of like, figuring out how to string together some wins. So he's not a stupid guy. He understands the risk he's taken with these players and he understands the history that he has in causing these injuries. So
I get what you're saying because you're right, but he's not like I wouldn't go as far to call him like an asshole or like a dick or
I'm
something.
calling him an asshole.
I think that's just
Getting
that.
his boys injured.
I think that's just a little ignorant. But like I don't know. Yeah, his style of coaching is just one, and he's not the only one. Like there's coaches who do this. He's not sitting thinking like, let's get these players hurt. Like that to me would be an asshole. But these people, they understand who they're going with coaching. And I think the funny part is you're not even seeing, like, this is like a very mild version of Thibodeau. Like he ruined Derrick Rose's career. Like
Yeah, no,
literally
I know that.
Derrick Rose's career. Like that dude was going to be like, he was coming off an MVP. Like, oh my God, like that dude was a problem. Um, but I mean, you could look at it from two perspectives. It's like, yeah, this is kind of like the downside of it, but also like if Thibodeau wasn't their head coach right now, they wouldn't be in this position. So it's a weird thing. But like I said, man, I think you're right. When the Knicks are at their best, full strength and healthy, that I do believe that with Giannis being out, like they are the second best team in the East, third at worst. But this is why I have no fear. And especially if they're going to get to the Eastern Conference Finals against the Celtics, my God, they're gonna be in wheelchairs by freaking game 3. So, I
Yeah.
mean, we'll see what their bench squad could do. But that's about all I really took away from this game.
I mean, just to me, the fact that friggin' Alec Burks comes in and does this well off the bench, it's just it's just more reason to not do what you're doing. Like as if your history and not only your history, but what happened last game and Randall and what Robinson, as if you need any more proof or reason to not do what you're doing. Like
Okay, you're
if you had the friggin' like Pistons bench, then what are you gonna do? But you
okay.
got Burks on there, you got people on there.
You're right. You are right. But if he hasn't in his like 40 years of coaching, if he hasn't changed it up yet, like I just think to even expect that he would change it up now would be like, come on,
Has he won a
it's not
chip?
gonna happen, you know?
Has he won a chip?
Has he won a chip? That's a good question. Um, well, he was with, funny enough, he was the assistant coach for us when we won in '08. That I know. Um, trying to think though, I'm looking at his teams that he played with. No, but he was on he had some damn good squads. He had
Hmm.
some damn good squads.
All right. Enough about Thibodeau. Let's move. I don't think we're gonna talk too long about the Timbies Nuggets game. There wasn't too much to decipher after like the third quarter because we all knew how it was going to end. It was a pretty uneventful game to be honest with you. At the beginning it looked like it was gonna be a real good game. Cat started with he was what I think it was 3 for 3 from three to start. Edwards got a three as well. Jamal Murray was looking a lot better. Probably the fucking 4 day rest they gave him for no reason. Um, but Denver's ball movement, their defense, the Timbies couldn't hit anything as well. It just pretty much sealed this one. The Murray had 24. Jokic was 14, 9, 24. So almost a triple double for Jokic. Porter had 21. On the other end of the ball, Edwards led them with 19 points. So everyone was kind of down in the gutters for the what the hell Timberwolves. Towns had 14 points, was the next highest score, and I remember at least 12 of those points were 3 pointers in the first half. So Towns did nothing in the second half for the most part. They were 43 from the field, 30 from three. So just an all around horrible game. The first question I got for you is why were the Timberwolves fans booing Jamal Murray whenever he touched the ball?
Because of what happened last game. Remember I told you he was like
Oh,
throwing a fit? Yeah,
the
and
throwing the
he
things.
should have
Yeah.
got
Okay.
suspended. Yeah.
There you
But that
go.
leading into it, was why I was very interested in this game and why I actually I get it from like a standpoint of like a game entertainment wise, it wasn't interesting to watch. But if you remember, I was very curious to see like how the Nuggets were gonna respond. Like, and the Nuggets responded like a championship team. Like, simply put, like they were like, you know what? Backs against the wall, you know what? We're just gonna play our game and get back to what we have to do. And it seemed like they took the mentality of like, fuck these first two games. Like, we're just going. We're just gonna act as if this series is 0-0 right now. And we're just gonna play our style of play. And it worked out for them. And that's what really great teams do. And that's why, I wasn't counting them out because it's like, as great as the Timberwolves are playing, it's like, okay, like at the end of the day, the Nuggets are still, they know what it takes to win a championship. And so, now you almost think about it from a perspective of the Timberwolves are kind of like, I don't want to say their backs are against the wall because they're still up 2-1, but like, if they lose tomorrow or whenever they play next, I don't know if they play in another 6 months from now, but
Tonight,
you
actually,
know, is it tonight they play? Oh,
8 o'clock.
I'm thinking that it was last night. But it's like, okay, if the Timberwolves their backs are kind of against the wall in a way because it's almost
I was,
like
I was gonna ask you that. You
the
don't want to be
the
tied 2-2 in the series with
the
Denver.
the Timberwolves kind of have to win tonight if they want to really like lock up this series because all of a sudden if it swings 2-2 momentum back in Denver, it's like you're screwed now, like because this Denver team, they know, they know what it takes at the end of the day. So um curious to see what happens tonight. I'm curious to see if Anthony Edwards bounces back. I believe he had 19 or something.
Yeah.
um and yeah, I mean, it should be good though. I think this game tonight will be a lot better of a game. But to be totally honest with you, I think the Nuggets take it personally. But I mean, we'll see.
Yeah. Hopefully the Timberwolves can. I think what the phrase you're looking for is like a breath of fresh air. If the Timberwolves lose this game, it's gonna be nothing but stress and worry and compromising crap all the way up until the next game. If they win tonight, they can. That's
Well,
what
if
they
well
need.
if they lose tonight, all their momentum gone. It's
Yeah,
gone.
that too.
So
Um, so what was I gonna say? A mental must win for the Timberwolves.
yes.
Not physical, but mental for sure.
Yep.
Because then they got to win another one on the road unless they want to go down 3-2.
Exactly.
I don't think they're winning another game in Denver. I'll tell you that. So close them out, game 4 and 6. Anyways, onto the Thunder game. Chet Holmgren, holy crap. He is averaging 3 blocks per game. He got 3 in the first quarter. I'm sorry, in the first quarter. He got 2 on consecutive drives. Then at the end of the first quarter, he got one. Um, and the final block led to an Isaiah Joe 3, which cut the lead down to 3. PJ Washington was actually really, really unbelievable this quarter. He was hitting everything, and over the whole game, Washington was great as well. Um, Holmgren gets another block. He gets a fourth block in the second. He injures himself on it. He does end up coming back, but I just thought that was crazy. He's blocking so much, he just goes out there and injures himself blocking. But yeah, he's good, so I can laugh about it. Back and forth second. Luka hit a 3, Joe hit a 3. Still a really, really close game. The Mavericks, or an early run, I'm sorry, I skipped here. The Thunder go on a run to get to a 10-point lead in the third, then a 16-0 run from the Mavericks. A lot again from PJ Washington. Mavericks lead by 4 at the end of the third, and both squads were even throughout the fourth quarter, both scoring 23. So obviously the Mavericks won by 4. Shea had 10 rebounds and 31 points. Next highest score was Jalen Williams with 16. Chet had 8 rebounds and 13 points. On the other side, the lead scorer was PJ Washington with 27. Great game from him. I haven't seen him play like that, like, ever. Kyrie and Luka both had 22 points, and Luka had 15 rebounds. So, yep, 2-1 lead. I don't think this is how we imagined we'd get here, but I don't think anyone would be surprised that the Mavericks lead 2-1 after 3 games. No,
You don't think that this was how we would? What do you mean that you don't think this is how they'd get there?
I figured that the Mavericks would own game 1 because the Mavericks
Oh,
they won 2 straight now.
well, now with the information we have, we see that the Mavericks don't do well in game ones.
Oh
So,
yeah,
so
just
I
like the
mean,
Celtics don't do well in game 2s.
so when you really like think about it and put it into perspective, it's like it kind of makes sense. Um,
But but
but
but when it's the Celtics in game 2s, it doesn't make sense.
no, actually for a completely different reason. If you want me to explain it to you, Luca kind of takes the LeBron approach of game ones. He really, and Jason Kidd does this too. LeBron kind of learned this from Jason Kidd when he played, who is now a coach. He would always take the game ones to, obviously no one's trying to lose the first game, but really what you're doing is you're playing more defensive than offensive in the sense of, okay, let me see what this team is doing. Trying to basically just gather more film and more evidence on them. So it's like you're not playing more, you're playing a little less aggressive, a little more like lackadaisical and things like that. The Celtics, there was just two bullshit instances for two different reasons that they lost in game 2. So there's really no correlation to it, but you can continue.
Um, well, I was pretty much done that. I was just gonna say that's it's a smart approach because you want to see how a team because the whole a big thing in any sports is you want to be the one what's it called um playing like for example if the Cavs were owning the Celtics, it would be like we're playing their game, we're playing at their speed, but it's interesting. So you lose game 1, and you let the Thunder control game 1. You see what they do when what they want to do. Because when you're letting them do what they want to do, they're gonna do it.
Yeah.
I'm doing a really bad job explaining it, but
I know what you mean.
I think I'm just reciting what you were saying, which is like, very, very clever, and it's something I wouldn't have thought about, where it's like, all right, so if we end up going down early in the future games, we know what they're gonna approach us with. They're gonna approach us with what worked in game 1. So we know
Yeah.
how to counteract that now. So yeah, that's pretty
Yeah.
clever.
And I mean, I mean, I think at this point, like I know the Mavs are a pretty inconsistent team, but to me, and I know this was only a 4 point game, but I really do feel like the Mavericks have a pretty good control over the series.
Mhm.
And I mean to be totally honest, I would not be surprised if the Thunder don't win another game. I really do think that that's on the board. But I mean, I don't know. We'll see.
I think the Thunder got game four. I think it'll go back to OKC tied.
Okay.
Don't
You got
forget
a lot of you got
when
a
we
lot of you got a lot of faith in those young guys.
when we came out of game one, you were you're like, oh, I was wrong, I was wrong. And now the Mavericks win two straight, and you're like, oh, they're not gonna win another game.
Yeah, that's what happens. You watch more of games and you kind of get a sense of where it's going. You know what I mean? Like you're allowed to change your opinions after, seeing different things.
I know. I think you gave up too early on this Thunder before going into the series, and I think you're giving up too early on them now.
No, I feel like my stance has been pretty much the same. Um, I never thought that they had a shot to win it. I never did.
I mean, you
Uh,
did say you were wrong after the first game, though.
no, I said I was wrong about what did I say? I was wrong because I didn't think they were gonna put up a fight. And I also thought it was gonna
There
be
you go.
lose the
Okay.
series. And you also
Hmm.
threw a fit over text about thinking I wasn't giving them respect. So I wanted to kind of come in here and, make you a little less upset. So that was partly for you.
How sweet of you. How sweet of you. But yep, game what three or no, I'm sorry, game four
Okay.
tomorrow. That'll be like I said, that'll be interesting. I think it'll be interesting. I think it'll be interesting.
I think it will.
All right. I'll let you take the lead on the Celtics, but I'm gonna start. I'll start with one thing. I'll start with one thing, and then I'll have you take everything. All right. From what I've seen, because I know who you're gonna want to talk about, but I'm gonna be the first one to say this was Drew Holiday's best game as a Celtic from what I have seen. The first half, he was absolutely insane. I trusted the ball into his hands more than anybody, and I have not ever said that about Drew Holiday. You go.
Well, that's what I was trying to tell you in the offseason when you were a little upset about some of these trades.
Okay. So we had one great game out of how many now? Eight? I mean, still.
Oh, in the playoffs, you're saying.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
I'm saying from what I saw the whole. Obviously, I didn't watch every game. I'm saying like I haven't seen Drew Holiday do this. And obviously I've watched every playoff game. I watched some during the regular season. I None of those games did I ever like be like when I ever like, oh, hey, Drew, you got an open three. You should take it. No, not that he would typically miss or was bad from three, but it's just like, there's better options out there in terms of scoring. Tonight, obviously, Tatum was the best option in terms of scoring, but I didn't think Drew was a bad option either. I thought if Tatum was having an off night or if Brown is having an off night, that's who I'd put the ball in the hands of. And I don't think I've ever seen that.
Funny enough, I'd argue that Brown was you could make a claim for being the best offensive player of that night. But Drew Holiday, no, this is what he does. I mean, this is why we've been so satisfied with him during the season. He is just as important to our team as Porzingis is, and you could argue even more, because as much as we hate to say it, Drew Holiday is a much, much, much better point guard for us than Marcus Smart ever was. That's just a fact. What?
Real quick, I'm just gonna intercept here and just say I've never like I know how valuable Drew Holiday is to us because you say it and you know a lot more than I. But I'm just saying I'm sure most of it is off the score sheet. Tonight he was on the score sheet and then some.
No, I mean, what do you have, 18 or something, right? But this is, I mean, he does this. I mean, he had a 50-point playoff game last year. Like he's the issue is though, it's like we have so many scorers on the team. So you're right, like his
Mm.
role is mostly like to be, doing things like being a point guard in general, which is what we need, but he also is capable of doing these things on a nightly basis. I mean, he's done it in Milwaukee. Like um he has. And so, but yeah, obviously, like it was good to see Tatum. Um, he's gonna sound crazy. I still think Tatum could play better than that. I know that sounds insane, but this is a start. Um, Brown, I love to see the whole dynamic between Brown and Tatum. I mean, what do they combined for what? Probably I think 61 points or something. But just their communication the whole night on the floor, I thought was great. I actually like the fact that Missoula isn't really playing too many people off the bench now. Like I think that's a good thing. Like okay, it's that time of the year. Like love Hauser and Cornette, but they should be getting 10 minutes at the max. Like if they're gonna play, like they should not be getting any more than that. And when
Yeah.
KP's back, they should barely be touching the floor. But and then I mean from a Cavs standpoint, I mean, look, like I said, right? Donovan Mitchell could still have his 30, and that's fine. As long as we're playing our game, we're good.
Mhm.
I think we'll be fine. Evan Mobley he still played pretty good, but like I said, I didn't intend
17.
to have, a game that he had last game. He didn't have. But again, man, this is why I felt like everybody just overreacted so bad to game two because it's just like I just don't know, and I don't know if you saw any of what I had to say because I did that review alone.
Hmm.
But I basically was just kind of like my fears that I had in the Celtics, like were the same fears I had before game two versus after game two. Like there was no, like I know that they're capable of having those games against shitty teams. Like we've been seeing that since forever. Like it's just how it is. Like I don't know. Like I don't know if everyone expected us to just go 16-0. Like I don't know. I get it. Like we lost in like a pretty crazy fashion, but like it was basically a 12-point game, and Missoula put in the bench guys at that time. So it was like game got out of control at the end there. But yeah, I mean, this is what the Celtics are capable of. And I still don't even think this is the Celtics at their best. I mean, obviously Porzingis still isn't there. Um, Derek White didn't really play his greatest. But again, when Tatum and Brown are on like that, you're not going to get like a 20+ point game from Derek White. It's just impossible. That's why like I kind of always said like it's great when Derek White has his games where he goes off, but I'm usually looking at it from the standpoint of like, man, like it's great for Derek White, but I'm like, like we can't win like this. So you know what I mean? Like big games. I'm just like, hey, we just can't. Like,
Yeah.
but
I mean, I
finals. We can't win finals games.
all right, but
We
I
can't.
will just remind you, Game 7 against the Bucks. Who was it?
Jason Tatum.
That was Grant, dude. Game
Oh,
7 against the Bucks. Grant.
yeah, no. You have to always a role player is always going to come up clutch, but at the end of the game, from start to finish, that was Tatum. Tatum was the best player on the court that game. You can look
I
up your
thought it
stats or
was.
whatever you want to look, but
I'm looking it up. Yeah, Grant had 27 points, and I'm pretty sure like all of them were threes.
yeah, they were all threes. I don't think you're understanding what I'm saying. Grant, you always are going to need the role players to step up big, but they're supposed to be the role players. Your star players have to be the ones really in front and center. Like
Tatum did great that game as well, but
that's my point, though. If
but you're saying that Derek White can't have a 20 plus night
uh,
if Tatum does, and right here Grant Williams did, and I think Derek White's miles better than Grant.
I don't mean like literally. Okay, so what I'm saying is Derek White in the finals, right? It's like great. Derek White keeps having those games, 20, 30-point games, but Tatum's having 16, 19 points, 21 points. That's not gonna like we're not gonna win.
That was
I think
crazy. We only played Derek White like 15 minutes of those games. We
yeah,
didn't
so
know
we
what we
should
were
have been
sitting
playing.
on.
Well, no, he wasn't as good as he is now. But
Oh
yeah, I
yeah,
mean
definitely. But I mean,
my point is like you can't Derek White can't be your star guy and you're winning
yeah, no,
championships.
that's. I mean, that's
That's what I
fair.
mean. I don't literally mean he can't. He's not allowed to score 20 points in the finals. But
Calm
yeah.
the fuck down.
So 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 yeah, you and all the other people that were having a temper tantrum when we were losing game two. I hope this shows you to just take a deep breath and it's gonna be okay. Like
Mike, there's a difference between having a temper tantrum and being, cautious. I'm cautious. You're absolutely not cautious. You're readying up the duck boats. You're planning the parade. I'm
the
not doing that.
parade, I think we're gonna lose in the final. I have no confidence of us in the finals. What are you talking about? I think
You,
we're gonna. I've never. First of all, you know me. I am never this like sure of a team like this. I'm not. I am not. But it's not even. It's not even about us though, Joe. It's about how bad the Eastern Conference is. It is
that's
terrible. And for you to say that, like, Joe, you know how unconfident I am if we play the Nuggets or the Timberwolves.
the part that's not the part I'm trying to get at here. The part that I'm trying to get at here, like, sure, I was exaggerating a little bit. The part I'm getting at here is just because not everyone has the same level of confidence as you do in the Celtics
No,
doesn't
that's
mean that we're
fine.
all.
That's fine. That's fine. But I'm asking you to just use your logic. It's one bad game. It's a 7 game series. It's like what? It's like what have you like? Just look just like physically. If you literally are looking at the players, at the teams, at it is not possible unless our entire starting five goes down that we lose this series. It's just not. It's literally impossible. It just is. We're not talking about a single game elimination. If we were, this is why
And
the
you
NBA
want to
is
know
so.
what's you want to know what's funny is the second that we eliminate the Cavs, you're probably gonna be like, "Told you." Where it's like, man, my money is on the Celtics. All right, it's just
Why would
I
I
don't
say
have.
it? Why would I say I told you? Like we're supposed to win. Like
I know, but like, and I'm saying that your confidence levels are skewed, but that doesn't mean I'm not confident in the Celtics.
I don't
I
think
think
it's
they can
skewed.
win. I think they should win. I think that loss was horrible, and it posted, like you said, a bunch of flaws in the way we do things or issues that we have. But that doesn't mean I think the team sucks or like is in trouble. I never said we were in trouble or anything. I know we have the capability to win it on the road, and that's what you need as a team that just lost home court advantage. Never did I say we weren't going to get it back. I was certain we were going to win one of the ones in Cleveland. I'm just saying I'm never going to be a confident little bird flying into a series ever again. And
No,
your confidence, you have enough confidence not only for me, not only for you, but the entire damn Celtics nation.
yeah, but again though, I do think it's a little like it's not like the right confidence though, because it's not like I am even saying this Celtic team is that good. It's just the East this year is so bad. And there's every time a conference is this bad, I mean, every year practically for the most part, and history will tell you, like practically in the NBA, like whatever is supposed to happen usually happens. It just is the way it is. And then you throw on top of it this shitty of a conference. It's like, dude, if the Cavs, I don't even know that if the Cavs were in the Western Conference, they would make the play-in this year. Honestly, I'm not even joking. I really don't.
Well, Mike, then I don't. And this, if you needed permission, if that's what you're waiting on, then I'll give you the permission. I don't know why you aren't just throwing your goddamn next paycheck on the Celtics to make the.
Oh, I mean, because I don't think I mean, the value's not, I mean, value's not that worth it, but I don't know. Well, no, honestly, you want to know why I'm not? Because of injury. None of this I'm taking injuries into consideration. So why that would be stupid.
Of course.
I mean,
Okay.
all this is
No,
going
no,
without
no.
injury.
Good argument. Good argument.
But I just yeah, I mean, and I think this is why like you look at think about the 2022 playoff run that we had. Like think of like that run was like one of the harder runs. That's why I'm like I mean, I'm going to be really happy again. This is what scares me that I think we're going to walk into the finals and get smacked in the face because we've played no competition. I mean,
Right.
you think about it. Our only competition is what did everybody say before the end of this year? Bucks Celtics. Nobody else. But Bucks got hurt, so maybe Sixers would be next up. But nobody expected this Knicks team to go as far as they're going. The Cavs were in a 7 game war with the Magic for Christ's sake. So again, my confidence isn't that much in the Celtics because I do think they have many flaws. But um, in fact, they're probably the most flawed 60+ win team since the Suns in 21, but or 22, I think. But yeah, I don't know.
Well, possibly more dangerous than having total confidence in your team is having totally no confidence in your opponent. So I sincerely hope the Celtics don't walk in with that same gusto of we're making the
Steve,
finals.
it's
Because
the
I'll tell you what,
NBA.
if they
Yeah,
have that, I think you agree that if they walk into a game with the mindset of we're going to win this game because our competition is not as good as us. they're more likely to lose than against a great team. You got to think about that as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
How we
that's
play
what
against the best.
happened.
So
That's what happened. That's what just happened.
I know, and that's why I'm saying that take that into consideration when we're talking about if we play the Timberwolves or the
But
Nuggets in the finals.
I agree with you. I'm with you. That's why I think we might get smoked in the finals. I've been
No,
saying
we
this.
we play down to our competition.
Oh no! Oh yes! No! 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 You're right. You're right. But if you're playing bad competition for 3 months and then you go in and play one of the best teams in the league, you're gonna get slapped in the face regardless. That's just what's gonna happen. And then one more thing. What? Well, you don't agree with that?
No, I'm just saying I know what you're saying. I'm not telling you this is why we're gonna win the finals. I'm telling you that's like this thing about that. Like, like I think that's a good counterpoint to whoever we face, we're gonna get smoked by. It's well, usually we are a team that plays very, very well against good competition.
Yeah. Well, I think we're gonna get smacked like in the beginning. Like I think it's gonna be like a shock, like a wake up call. Like it's gonna be like,
Game
oh,
one, sure.
it's gonna be, oh shit, we're playing a good team. Like we gotta we gotta fucking play now, you know? But yeah, yeah.
All right. I don't know where that went, but that was our review of the Celtics Cavaliers game. Yeah. So we got a game coming on at 3:30. So we're both gonna hop off the pod here and focus up on watching that. I'll be honest with you. The Celtics were on last night. I was at Connor's and we were like, yo, I wonder if like any other games are on later. And we looked it up and he's like, oh shit, the Thunder already happened. I was like, wait, what? I was like, oh, it's Saturday. Damn it. I
Yup.
was so confused. I was like, what? But that did not make that mistake today. We got the Pacers and the Knicks on at 3:30 and then Nuggets tonight. So yeah, and a nice little window between to do whatever you got to do. So we'll talk to you guys about that probably tomorrow. See you then.
Peace.